and welcome to another episode of my photography vlog. And today I've travelled. I am on the coast of Wales. I am by a lighthouse called Penmon Lighthouse, and I've travelled here for a weekend of photography. I'm going to be exploring the area of Snowdonia, and we arrived this morning after a very early start, and we've got set up now in our accommodation. I'm with a group of other photographers as well. I'm here with them. They're on a workshop, and they're with Bernard Geraghty and Rodney O'Callaghan, and it is going to be an interesting weekend because I'm going to be able to visit quite a lot of locations that I wouldn't normally even think about going or finding myself. So it's great to be able to come along, go with the flow, follow on where these guys are going to be going, and obviously take my own shots then as well as the weekend will progress. And like I said from the outset, I'm here on Penmon Lighthouse, and it's on the coast of Wales. It's a grey day, so I'm looking to do a slightly different than normal shot that I've seen of this before online. There is no colour or whatever it may have been, but I've decided to stay actually up here, slightly elevated, because there's some black lines that are there on this lighthouse, and I want to make sure that when I'm taking the shot that I'm not losing the lighthouse in the greyness of the sky, so there's a bit of separation on the black lines are there themselves. I've got my camera at the moment about 135 millimeters. I'm going for a long exposure as well because I do want to get some smoothness in that water. And I'm shooting at the moment at f14 and ISO is at 100. There is very little wind here, so it's quite good, but again, as always, I'm using my remote shutter release, and what that helps me to do is make sure that there is absolutely no chance of me touching the camera or any movement whatsoever as well within the camera, so I can make sure that I keep the shot sharp and obviously, make the best out of the situation. So first location, first shoot, first shot. I do like it. I'm going to move on in a moment here. I'll go down to the water's edge where the rest of the guys are as well. But I wanted to get this first shot because I want to be able to see, is it going to be able to create something different for me and give me a different view than lower down. So first shot, I'll show it in a moment. That's welcome to Snowdonia, and let's go exploring now again for the next couple of days. So I've come down to the beach there now, and taken a couple of shots, and even though I'm lower and the lighthouse is kind of standing up more within the scene, I feel as if it is sort of missing something. So what I've decided to do is use myself as something to balance the image. So I'll have the shot composed where I have the lighthouse in the right hand third, and then I'm going to go onto the left hand side as well, and with myself then it should balance the image out nicely. I have to change my exposure time as well, obviously, because I want to go for a shorter exposure. I want to hold myself down for so long, but it is again something different, and I'll see how this shot will turn out. I'll show you the shot there in a moment, and then we'll move further along anyway here as well. I want to try and get some different foreground interest into the shot. Okay. Moving further on down here, and I've come across a pathway. I do believe this pathway goes right out as far as the lighthouse when the tide is out. The tide is in right now, so obviously I can't get out there. But I'm changed my composition to a portrait composition, and I'm going to end up with the lighthouse on the right hand side and the pathway then leading into the scene but slightly off to the left. So I'm going to take a couple of shots. I'm going to see how it turns out with the pathway on its own. And I'm also going to as well take a walk down myself, and again use myself on this to kind of balance the image as well, and we'll see how that shot itself will turn out. Don't know if it'll be good or not yet. It's hard for me to tell, but I do think from a portrait orientation that this line will bring the eye through the image up with myself at the very end of that, and then the lighthouse as well itself. But after this I'm going to head down this path. I'm going to swap out my lenses. I'm going to take the 16-35, going to put the polarizer on and see if I can kind of create something of that path that's there, even though it's under the water, to remove the glare so you can see that pathway coming under the water. But we'll move on there in a moment and we'll see how that will turn out. So I've come down to where I said I was going to come down to now, and I do think actually it's going to be a nice shot. I have to be conscious of the timing of when I do take the shot, because when a wave is coming in, it's creating a white aspect on the top of the water, so it's kind of obstructing the view of the pathway that's coming down here. I have my polarizer on, I have my 0.9 ND, and I'm getting 1/4 of a second of an exposure, and it's given me enough of time really to kind of smooth out the water a bit. I might try something in a moment by putting on a Lee little stopper, try and give me some extra time in regards to the exposure. But I do like what it's doing. It is giving me an opportunity with the polarizer to cut through the glare, and you can kind of see the pathway then that's running out to Penmon Lighthouse. It's a beautiful location. It's a great spot, great place from our first shoot on a grey day as well. It's given me some nice images, I do think. They're looking nice in the back of the camera. So I'm excited really in what the next couple of days actually entail, because it is going to give me brand new locations I've never shot before. So I'm, as I say, excited. Can't wait to kind of get into the whole Snowdonia area. We're going to be going to the Ogwen Valley, going to a couple of other lighthouses as well. And should be a very good series of vlogs. So thanks very much for watching this episode. I do hope you can join me on the next ones that will be coming on this weekend. But until the next time, slán go fóill.